Okay, so Pat, this is an assault with a deadly weapon suspect that is in this RV, and the weapon that was used was an axe. Now,
Oh.
this started with Monrovia police, but we've long since been on the freeway. We're a long way from Monrovia. We're actually in the Eagle Rock area, southbound on the 2. So now this is CHP that's taken over. Monrovia has backed out. I'll see if my trusty pilot Ryan can let me know which law enforcement agency is overhead, or if they are. I thought I saw a spotlight from a helicopter there. So that is Eagle 1, I'm being told. Try to find out which agency that is. But we're southbound on the 2. You see this RV, not crazy speeds or crazy driving. Well, or getting that RV almost up to 75 miles an hour right now, Pat. But you see CHP in pursuit and obviously believed to be armed and dangerous, considering that this suspect supposedly used an axe, assault with a deadly weapon, Pat.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question to you, Des. Do we know anything about that incident? Was someone actually hurt? Do we know who it was? If the person knew, this driver knew this person? Do we have any other information on that assault?
Haven't gotten any information on that one yet, but obviously, somebody must have called 911, and then the suspect took off in this RV. So, this is a really weird one. It's fairly rare to see these RV pursuits, and obviously you don't want to see any real sudden movements with a vehicle like this. It could tip over so fast, or if they take any of these interchanges a little bit too quickly. And we're going to be coming up to one of them right now as we're on the southbound 5. The transition to the 5 freeway can be a little bit tricky, especially for a vehicle going this fast to make a turn. So we'll see if they decide to stay on the southbound 2 and head towards the end of the freeway into the Silver Lake Echo Park area, or transition on the 5. But close to 80 miles an hour now with this RV with CHP in hot pursuit.
All right, Desmond, I know you have to get some information for us, so if we can just go over again what is happening here. We have CHP now taking the handoff from Monrovia Police following this RV, which the driver is apparently wanted in connection with an assault with a deadly weapon. That deadly weapon being an axe. Now, that's all we know at this time about that particular incident, that this driver of this RV is wanted for assault with an axe. We're assuming that someone possibly called 911 to talk about this incident. The Monrovia Police jumped on it. Then CHP took over as this RV is traveling on the 2 southbound. When we first jumped on, this RV was in Eagle Rock. Now he's in Atwater Village. We were talking about a transition to the 5. It's a possibility. Desmond is back on with this. So Des, now they're in the Echo Park Silver Lake area. And still traveling.
So we're southbound on the 2 now. Sorry. So we just crossed the 5. So now we're going to come to the end of this freeway, which will end in the Silver Lake area down onto Glendale Boulevard. So we're going to get onto some surface streets, and we'll see how this one goes. Now, Pat, we did just get some information on this thanks to our assignment desk, letting us know what happened here in Monrovia was that this person was allegedly swinging an axe around at customers and a manager inside of a Home Depot.
Oh.
And so that's when they called 911. We didn't hear if anyone was injured yet in relation to that incident. But so after police arrived, apparently they saw the vehicle take off, this RV. I mean, pretty conspicuous vehicle. This isn't, it's going to be fairly easy to find one of these, not too many of these RVs around. So it's pretty easy for CHP, or rather for Monrovia PD, to pick this one up and, really sticking out like a sore thumb. Don't expect that the authorities are going to, lose this one, and don't expect that this vehicle is going to outrun them either. So we're getting off the end of the freeway. I believe this is going to go to northbound Glendale Boulevard. We will see where this takes us, but going to get onto some surface streets, fairly narrow ones. We got signals. We've got rush hour traffic for this RV to contend with, and we'll see how CHP handles this. I can't imagine that they're going to attempt a pit maneuver or anything like that. Obviously, the kind of
so big.
The differential, the differential in weight, I don't think that's going to work out so well. So yeah, we're northbound now on Glendale Boulevard, actually turning away from Silver Lake and up towards the Los Feliz area.
Well, I've noticed that the driver slowed down, I would say quite a bit from the speeds that he was driving. And I don't know if this is because he's on a surface street or not, but as he was making that transition, he was driving very slowly. And as he was making that turn onto Glendale Boulevard, we're talking about just how unusual RV pursuits are. I come to mind, Desmond, I keep thinking about that RV pursuit with the two dogs in the car and the woman was driving. That was in the West Hills area. So erratically, just really swerving into vehicles and houses practically, fences, and those poor little dogs jumped out of the RV. This does not look like it suffered any damage, so we don't know anything in terms of this RV actually hitting another vehicle or someone. And boy, that's a close turn there.
Yeah, a pretty tight turn here. We'll see where they're going to end up here. But yeah, and that RV pursuit did not end well, Pat. That one ended up with that RV smashing into a tree. Not seeing really high speeds right now. Of course, when you're talking about an RV, it takes a lot of effort and quite some time to get an RV up to speed. So that it's going to be a difficult thing for them. But now we're on some really narrow residential streets and might even get into some hilly areas. So where is this suspect headed? And is this, we're driving an RV. Is this an RV that someone lives in, or are they headed towards their house right now? Who knows what's going on? But we've covered a lot of ground. Again, this started in Monrovia, but pretty tricky now that we're on these narrow surface streets with this big RV.
And those were speed bumps that this RV was going over. We couldn't possibly tell if they were able to lay down any spike strips, even though this RV is going pretty slow. I mean, there's that possibility.
Yeah,
but then now they're in traffic.
I mean, spike strips would be a good idea. I don't think there were any units in front of this. I don't think they expected this RV to turn down that small surface street, but now we're into some traffic. It's rush hour right now. We're out on Fletcher Drive, a pretty major street, so now the RV going to the wrong side of the road or into that center turn lane at the very least. But they continue on surface streets around here, trying to cross the 5 freeway, especially headed eastbound this time of the evening. A very, very difficult task for any vehicle, let alone an RV right now that's being pursued by CHP. So I like the idea of spike strips. They're going to have a lot of time to get a unit in front if possible. And now stuck in this left turn lane, and let's see, what is CHP? Well, they're just continuing there. That unit was anyway.
They just went right ahead.
Maybe that's the idea.
To go up ahead.
Just went right ahead. That possibly. I haven't heard any chat. Okay. Well, now we just heard that they may have called off this pursuit because the driver was going the wrong way, but only for a couple of seconds. So that's strange. We'll see. Maybe if they're going to hand it off to LAPD or something. We saw that spotlight there from the authorities overhead. Still not sure which agency that is, Pat.
Okay. Well, Desmond, we are going to invite our viewers to watch Norah O'Donnell on the CBS Evening News, and we will continue the chase. On KCAL. Was on the 2 freeway. Now it's on surface streets. And according to Desmond, this RV seems to be followed from the sky. Not exactly sure which agency has a chopper overhead. Are they still overhead? Doesn't look like it. Or is that your chopper?
Well, they've turned their spotlight on. We're no, it's not our spotlight. This is kind of weird now.
Nah, it looks like they're stopping.
Rosebud.
Oh, turn the lights off.
Stopping.
And turn the lights off.
I'm wondering if
doors open.
The lights off and getting out. Maybe thinking that that they're getting away here because the authorities just stopped pursuing them. So Rosebud off of Sunflower in the Elysian Valley area. Here is the suspect that was thought to be swinging an axe around at a Home Depot. So at least the pursuit is over. It was kind of nerve-wracking, just a RV kind of, especially those high speeds we saw on the freeway. So that part is over. Now it is a matter of if the authorities want anything to do with this.
And why would they not? Because I was going to say, if it wasn't true, then why is this suspect running? If he had nothing to run from, he's going up some stairs. I wonder if he knows where he's going, if he lives in this home that we're looking at, Desmond, or he has friends or what have you. We still don't see any law enforcement in sight?
No, not seeing any at all. No law enforcement at this point. Now, this is Sunflower Avenue, 1936 Sunflower Avenue is what my map tracker is telling me. And unless this was, completely random, maybe this is where the suspect lives or where friends or relatives live. But we're in the Elysian Valley area, in kind of a hilly area, and yeah, just parked the RV, turned the lights off, and came running right up here. It certainly seemed like he had a destination in mind, so maybe hunkering down here, but no ground units at all in this. It was Monrovia PD at first. They backed out, then CHP backed out. And now, they said that they were calling it off because the suspect was driving the wrong way, but we saw that suspect was only on the wrong side of the road for about a half a second. They got in, really was getting into the center turn lane. So that tells me that CHP just really was not that interested in going after this.
And they have a license plate.
They have the license plate, and this is not a stolen vehicle. So that's another good point. If they want to pursue this later, maybe under more safe circumstances, maybe they could. There could be an opportunity for them to track the vehicle at a later time and apprehend them.
You know what? Because right now, too, Desmond, you wonder, okay, you didn't park the RV on the street where you are in front of this home. You parked it in a dark area, got out and started running. So, but still, it's not as if they don't have the license plate number if this RV does indeed belong to you. And I would assume, they can find out where you are. If they could be watching our reports as we speak and know this address because we've told them where it is. So it's very interesting as to why they have just backed off completely. Because as you said, he wasn't driving that fast once he got on surface streets. He made a turn very quickly and then just started driving slowly enough to make that turn and park that vehicle, turn the lights off, jump out of it, and run in this building that we're looking at here. And apparently, maybe he went inside.
It looked like it. It certainly seems so. A lot of times, it seems like certain watch commanders. It could be with LA County Sheriff's deputies. It could be with CHP. It could be with LAPD, where they're just not that interested in pursuing a vehicle and bringing it, to an end. If kind of depending on the nature of the crime. Now, if it's an extremely serious, waving an axe around in a Home Depot, pretty serious. Unclear if anyone was injured in that. But if this would have been a murder suspect or something, obviously we would not have seen them give this up. If it's something like property damage or maybe an incident like this, they may just decide, we'll get them another time.
All right, you're right about that, Desmond. And I just want to point out, I don't know about you, but I didn't see anything in his hand when he exited that vehicle and started running. Certainly not an axe.
But yeah, I didn't either.
Right? That would have been something heavy that we would have noticed. Okay, Desmond, well, we're going to call our own Code 4 on this. And if we have any updates, we will bring them to our viewers on KCAL 9 News at 8 o'clock. That's our next newscast. Have a good evening.
Do you have a quick...
Check your focus. Okay.